the studios of the Republic Media Network, you're watching Arnab Goswami live on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Amrita University, Puric and Lupizine Plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It has been 22 years since as many as 527 Indian bravehearts laid down their lives, defeated Pakistan in the Kargil war, and ensured that India remains one unencumbered nation. But even today, there are those like Farooq Abdullah, just one among many, who openly take a pro-Pakistan position. And there is this motivated lobby. A lobby which dares to call Kargil a fiasco. In my view, there's nothing more pro-Pakistani than that. And there are those who take funds from China at a time when India is staring them down at the LAC. There are in fact some newspapers which openly take funding from China. Now, if we must truly honor our bravehearts this 22nd year of Kargil, it is time to stop those sympathizing with the enemy openly while sitting on Indian soil. Coup, your opinion. Here is the story, and then we debate.
"22 years ago, our brave soldiers fearlessly put everything on the line, faced the harsh adversities and most vicious moves of the enemy to secure our nation. And the Indian Army finally hoisted the national flag at Kargil on 26th of July.
They should be talking to you today. Because, how are they feeling? What is it when they come for this kind of a function where we respect our, brave soldiers who have laid down their lives for the nation? Their families are here, their family members, somebody's widowed wife, somebody's mother.
The entire nation honouring its soldiers on the 22nd anniversary of the Kargil Vijay Divas, and the families of the bravehearts who staked their all are recalling the brave tributes.
Physically lose somebody. So Vikram को जो loss हुआ हमारा, that's physical. और मैं इसलिए ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ कि 22 साल में ऐसा कोई भी दिन नहीं होता जब उसके बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं. तो हमको लगता है somewhere around us, because either we as a family या कोई भी friend कोई मिल जाता है जो विक्रम की स्टोरी सुनना चाहता है या विक्रम की bravery की स्टोरी सुनना चाहता है, तो we end up talking about him on a daily basis. तो मुझे लगता ही नहीं है कि हमारे आसपास नहीं है.
I'm Sapna Roy, mother of late Captain Sumit Roy, and he was decorated with Veer Chakra and belongs to 18 Garhwal Rifles. Of course, you remember your son. Of course, Dras, where he laid down his life. So I feel this is another home for me. Of course, we are paying homage to all those martyrs, who laid down their lives. But still, sometimes I feel that I'm honored. I feel honored when I visit this place. Because so many, years have passed. It's now 22 years. But still the feeling remains the same. And the emotions are same,
I was just 8 when we lost him. I didn't get much time to spend with him. But I think I have lived with his letters and notes for many more years than how much the time I spent with him in real life. I remember him very clearly still. And I think his letters and notes were what drove me to write this book. It may sound very rough. But I think a martyr's family, there is a war that starts at home after you lose a soldier to a war or to a conflict or to an operation. And that battle at home never ends. That is the brutal, harsh truth.
But while the nation has been saluting these brave hearts, there are some who sit on Indian soil, work on Indian territory and sympathize with the enemy. Whether it's Farooq Abdullah speaking on the eve of Kargil Divas,
किसी ने नहीं सुना। मैंने कहा एक ही हल है, आप बात करें, और बात करने से हल निकल सकता है। न हम उसको जीत सकते हैं, न वो इसको जीत सकते हैं। अगर बातचीत से होगा, हमारी ऑटोनॉमी भी आ जाएगी, और जो वहाँ है उनकी ऑटोनॉमी भी आ जाएगी, रास्ता खुल जाएगा, हम लोग अपने साथियों से वहाँ मिल सकेंगे, वो यहाँ तिजारत शुरू हो जाएगी, और कोई रास्ता नहीं है।
Or it is the Latvians portals who've made it a business model to denigrate India and its forces. Now they call Kargil war a fiasco. Tonight it is time to truly honor our brave hearts. Truly keep the spirit with which those Indian army martyrs restored the tricolour at Kargil alive. And there is only one way to do that. Stop allowing empathy campaigns for the enemy. 2. Stop the defense of freedom of expression to run down India. 3. Stop making the Indian army the enemy for motivated reasons. 4. Stop the foreign funding for propaganda in India. And 5. Make staying on Indian soil contingent to loyalty in India. 22 years since Kargil, it is time to set the record straight and put the pro-Pak elements in place. Let's debate.
Major Gaurav Arya with me in the studio. RP Singh of the BJP, Sushant Sareen, Ifra Jan, Majid Haidari and Sarfaraz Wani. Gaurav, you know, this cannot be accidental. You know, I think there is a very deliberate attempt, especially on Kargil Vijay Divas celebrations. If you start writing articles saying Kargil was a fiasco, when it has been our greatest victory against Pakistan, I personally don't think this is accidental. I think that, you know, Farooq Abdullah, for example, one day before says, we need to speak to Pakistan. He knows he's saying this on the eve of the 22nd Kargil Divas. Can this be accidental? I don't think this is accidental.
Thank you, Arnab. No, absolutely not. It's not accidental, Arnab. This is a well thought out strategy to lower the morale of the country, to lower the morale of the armed forces, and you know, these usual suspects.
Yep.
Some magazines, some online magazines, people like Farooq Abdullah, who always say talk to Pakistan. No, I would like to tell Mr. Abdullah that, sir, you are no longer an elected representative of the people.
Truly.
You are a former chief minister of what is now a union territory, and live with your current condition. I mean, talking to Pakistan is something that the government will do or will not do. Number one. Number two, as far as calling Kargil a fiasco, which war isn't a fiasco, Arnab? Wasn't the First World War or the Second World War a fiasco? All war is a fiasco. All war is unfortunate. But we did not enter Pakistani territory. Pakistanis entered our territory. And hence we had to fight and evict them. And that is it. It's unfortunate. We lost 527 brave hearts. I wish the Kargil war had not happened, Arnab.
Can I clear
but today, I am very, very, very proud. And forget about me. Forget about me, Arnab. The families of the people, you heard them on screen, the families who lost their fathers, their sons, their brothers, their husbands, they are so proud. Who am I to make any comment? And
what is he shouting about?
You know, Majid, it's a very solemn occasion. It calls for a little bit of, a sort of a subtle behavior here. You know, don't heckle. And Arnab, firstly, I should have started off, my apologies. And I say today, happy Kargil Vijay Divas to everybody. And my heart goes out to the families. We are with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Viewers, the context for this conversation today, 22 years ago during the Kargil war, the Indian army, it's in all its valor earned a tremendous victory over Pakistan. And we stopped Pakistan in their tracks. Sacrifices were made, huge sacrifices were made, unforgettable sacrifices were made to save the soil from falling into enemy hands, and now on the same soil. The irony is today, Sushant, on the same soil there are people who speak the language of the enemy. And openly so. And this is called an analysis here. Yes, Majid? Yes, Majid, tell me.
Rather than giving... I have a very humble... Sushant bhai, just a moment, please. This is a serious issue. If Pakistan is supposed to be our alleged enemy, why do we have its office of the Pakistan High Commission in my country, in my national capital? Why don't you shut down that office? If Pakistan is supposed to be our enemy, why do we have ties with Pakistan? No, we can't be hypocrites all the time.
Majid, the discussion is on a different track. No, Majid, the discussion is on a different track. The discussion is on whether, in the name of freedom of expression, you can make these comments.
And then you will say that Muslims...
No, one second, don't repeat yourself. You don't have to repeat. I heard you, now I'll switch. I'll get Ifra on the other side. I don't think it's accidental. Sushant, 1 minute, Majid, can I request, please? We'll have Ifra on the right. My point is, the least one could do, and the point of concern is this, Sushant, that whether after 26/11, on issues regarding terrorism, on whether after Kargil, we learn our lessons. How can it be that Mehbooba Mufti, for example, Sushant, sitting on Indian soil, is advocating for talks with Pakistan and then being called for meetings in Delhi? There is an attempt to try and say, let's be more inclusive, let's get her in the conversation. Why get them in the conversation? If they're prefixed minds. Kargil Vijay Divas is a good day. Yeah. To remember this and maybe reevaluate what we do. Yes.
Yes. I'll just come to your question. Let me just first answer, something which Majid had raised. See, the point is that Pakistan is a self-declared enemy. My calling Pakistan an enemy or not calling Pakistan an enemy, in fact, India always used to use the term adversary. The Pakistanis always used to say that they are, India is their enemy. But even enemies in diplomatic relations, even enemies have embassies in each other's countries. It's not a big deal. The state of our relations is very well known. So for Majid to raise this, issue I think he's just trying to distract the issue. Majid. But on the more substantive point which you are raising, look, number one, I think we've always had people, who have always batted for the enemy. We have journalists who on the queue from the Pakistani side hold interviews which carry the Pakistani line. And we have academics who say, well, this was a brilliant interview because it was towing the Pakistani line. But India has always had people
Pakistan
like this.
Is not only about bad people.
Yeah, now don't heckle. Now don't heckle. Arey Baba, yaar, aapne bol liya na yaar. Now why are you interrupting? Why are you doing this?
It is about Imran Khan, Fawad Khan, Mahira Khan. I have plenty of names
this is not fair.
To tell you about.
Majid, this is not done. This is not the way to behave. This is not the way to behave. You were speaking, I kept quiet.
Anand.
No, when you were speaking, I kept quiet. Now let me have my say. No, that's not the way to behave. You asked for time, I yielded to you.
Pastor.
You said what you had to say. Now I am saying, now you're heckling me. How does that work, yaar? So the point is that there are people always like this in this country. I think what is important is to ignore them, to marginalize them, to treat them with disdain and do what needs to be done. I think what happened on the 5th of August 2019 was what was required to be done. It has been done. There have been other things which need to be done, which are being done. Some of them are being done. Some of the things which we are lagging behind on. And I think the government should, and is waking up to that.
But Sushant,
there is a need to start a political process. But I think the red lines have to be very clear. If you are going to be talking in favor of Pakistan, haven't we already talked to Pakistan? How many times are you going to talk to Pakistan?
Well,
what do you think you will get from the Pakistanis?
Taliban.
No, Sushant, 1 minute. Sushant,
talking nonsense.
Sushant, you say, and let me get GD Bakshi in this with Ifra also. No, you say that treat them with disdain. No, one second. No, Sushant.
You have opened a line of communication which any country will do, no matter how distasteful.
Sushant, let's not get into technicalities. Sushant, the real point that I wanted to debate today, being 22nd Kargil. Now, Anand, I'll have to request you. Sushant, just one point. The point is today being 22nd Kargil Vijay Divas. The bottom line is, and GD Bakshi, do we or do we not feel the need to honor our martyrs? My point is simple. I politely disagree with you, Sushant. I don't believe that these people can be treated only with disdain. The assumption being that don't take any action on them. I personally believe personally believe that if you want to honor our martyrs, then why should we not ensure that there cannot be a running of a sympathy campaign? You cannot run a sympathy campaign for Pakistan on Indian soil. You cannot be allowed to do it.
Unless there is a law.
You may call this a very right-wing view, but this is my view.
No, this is not a right-wing view.
No. You cannot.
No. 1 second. Unless you have a law which forbids it, on what basis are you going to take action? So the only action that can be taken is what, for example,
there are laws. You need to apply it.
You are carrying.
There are laws.
You are trying.
Is there the political will to apply it?
Create an opinion.
Is there the political will to apply it, Sushant? There are enough laws. There are enough laws. There are enough laws, Sushant. Sushant, can I hear the volume louder? Sushant, a minute. Sushant, I want GD Bakshi to come in and we'll just have an open debate. And see, the thing is, there are enough laws. The problem is, we don't apply the laws. You cannot, there are enough laws which say you cannot run a sympathy campaign for Pakistan on Indian soil. There are enough laws. We don't want to apply it. If you want to honor our martyrs, you cannot have campaigns running down the Indian army. And enabling the enemy, you are enabling the enemy. The debate today is about enabling the enemy, GD Bakshi. I'm sorry, you are enabling the enemy. If you call Kargil a fiasco, you are enabling the enemy. And because it was our greatest victory, I want GD Bakshi to come in, please. GD Bakshi.
Arnab, first of all, on your channel, I'd like to, can I, madam, salute the martyrs? Can I please salute the martyrs? Thank you for giving me that permission. Madam, I'm trying to pay respects to our, can I pay respects to our martyrs? If you permit.
Please do, sir. Please do. But I did not know that you're supposed to pay respects to the martyrs on Republic TV. I thought you're supposed to do it in a proper fashion. As far as the martyrs are concerned, GD Bakshi ji, I want you to know.
No, 1 second. Please allow GD Bakshi to complete. Please allow GD Bakshi to complete. Don't teach GD Bakshi protocol. Please volume down. GD Bakshi will be allowed to continue now, Anand. Thank you.
This is not how our debate is supposed to be conducted.
Thank you very much.
Just be quiet.
Keep your
Thank
knowledge
you,
to yourself. Arnab, may I on your channel take the opportunity to salute the 529 Indian bravehearts who laid down their lives in the Kargil conflict. May I salute the 4 Paramveer Chakras, the 10 Mahavir Chakras, the 49 Veer Chakras, the 130 plus Sena medals that were won by that exemplary display of bravery by our very young officers and soldiers who charged all the way up the hill in the face of certain death, inch by bloody inch, yard by bloody yard. They threw the Pakistanis out of every inch of Indian territory. Every inch, Arnab. And today, instead of having some gravitas, some sense of propriety on this very august day, when we should be bowing our heads down to our martyrs, whether we are in our room, whether we are at the war memorial or on a national channel, I don't think there is a better way to do it than on a national Republican channel. I don't think there is a better way to do it. And can you please let us do it? Can you stop your heckling? Can you for once be dignified? Nation showed dignity in the face of death.
I haven't been allowed to speak.
Nation showed dignity. You little girl. Nation showed dignity. Did somebody not teach you that at home? In the face of death, nations show dignity. All right. They don't take rancorous stands like yours. All right. At least I would expect you to bow your head down to our martyrs. You are doing it on a public platform. This is a public platform, far more public than going out. All right. Arnab, I want to say that there are some people who have consistently been maligning, demonizing our armed forces, trying to run down everything that they do because their ethic of sacrifice just does not gel with people who are sold out. People who are prepared to sell their souls to the dearest bidder. Dearest bidder, Arnab. It hurts. Even on a day like this, where there are at least...
But the question is, GD Bakshi, what did we learn? No, the question is today, therefore... No, the question, therefore, is, and that's the reason, you're spot on, General Bakshi. 1 minute. The question I wanted to ask today is... I remember Kargil. No, 1 minute. General Bakshi, if you look back at Kargil, we said...
Will you curse the Vajpayee's number, please? Let's all salute the Kargil.
Majid Haidari, if you don't seal your lips right now, I will throw you out of my program within the next 30 seconds. I am warning you. If you don't end your loose comments, I am going to throw you out of the program. And my question is, therefore, I don't want to give you any airtime. My question is RP Singh. RP, please. RP. RP.
I need to... No,
RP. I'm throwing him out. I've already muted him right now. RP.
Arnab.
RP.
Arnab,
before you come with your point, just one point from my side to channelize the debate. Just 1 point from my side. One thought. RP, I'll hand it over to you and Gaurav after this. You see, RP, after 26/11, we say as a country, never again. We will never let down our guard again. We remember that, Gaurav, right? We will not let this happen again. Have we let down our guard? We have. And the fact of the matter is that we wake up only when we realize the sleeper cells of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Jaish-e-Mohammed are very much active, and the same people out there who are backing the terrorists then are saying now that remove the UAPA, reduce the laws against terrorism, dilute the laws. So in a way, we have let down our guard. My question is also after Kargil. RP, we said, Gaurav, maybe you want to take the discussion. We said after Kargil that our entire approach will change. And what happened? We lost 527 of our soldiers, our bravest. But after that, that whole section which was helping the enemy from within started climbing back. And that's why I disagree with Sushant. We cannot treat them with disdain. There are news organizations in this country that are getting money from China. There are people who said, after Pulwama, it's important to understand why people become terrorists and are willing to die. This comment was made by Prashant Bhushan. Jignesh Mewani put out one-sided and biased UNHCR reports on Kashmir and said, tweet it widely. Open anti-army campaign was happening. So we, after that, let these people proliferate, Gaurav. My problem is people who are helping the enemy from within have been allowed to proliferate.
No,
and burns our heart to see that happening so openly.
Part of the examples that you gave, no, these are clear set examples of people being enemies of the nation and enemies of the state. And they must be weeded out ruthlessly. There is no other way to look at it because we can fight the enemy outside.
Sushant says ignore them.
No, I would respectfully disagree because, Arnab, you know, fighting enemy outside, fighting Pakistan in Kargil is far, far easier than fighting a Prashant Bhushan who's stabbing us behind our back, or fighting other people of various lobbies, various digital online magazines, various newspapers who are OGWs, overground workers of the terrorists. So, you know, to call Kargil a fiasco. To call Kargil a fiasco.
Why would someone say that on Kargil Divas?
Arnab,
why would someone publish that?
And Arnab,
why would someone time that?
Yeah, why would
someone time that?
Absolutely, Arnab. And why would someone say on the eve of Kargil Vijay Divas?
And why would they say it's an institutionalized failure? Was our victory an institutionalized victory? I mean, why did they say? Why do people say that we are to be haunted by Kargil? We are to be haunted by the specter of Kargil. Why do we allow that? That is my question. The bottom line is there are people who are undermining our victory today, Gaurav. I don't think it's accidental. I think we need to be even harsher on them. We need to put curbs.
Absolutely, Arnab. I absolutely agree with you and come down with an iron fist. You know, we have this habit in this country.
Let's ask the BJP spokesperson, why don't they come up with an iron fist?
Too much of discussion.
Why is the BJP all talk on this? RP. You've not really acted.
Thank you.
You're being dared every day.
Arnab, thank you so much, Arnab. First, let's pay our homage and salute to all those martyrs. And I would appreciate all panelists whoever they are, Majid or the lady here or another gentleman from Kashmir, they should all pay that regard to the people who laid this life for trolling hills. But we should remember that. And because of that, we are a nation, right? A nation together today. I appreciate a woman should also do that, and the other two gentlemen who are on, including Majid Azmi, should do that before they do any of their they put any of their viewpoint on your channel. But coming to the issue, see, Farooq Abdullah is a habitual person who is habitual with all this. I mean, I remember, let me just read one point. He just said in October, whatever China are doing in LSC in Ladakh is because of abrogation of C-70. I'm hopeful that they will support Article C-70 will be restored in J&K.
But then why do you call him for? Why do you want him to be part of a dialogue process?
No,
but then why do you want him to be part of a dialogue process?
I'll come to that. I'll come to that also. Why do we call him or why do we call Mullah Mufti for dialogue? It's not that they are only two. There are others also who have been called. But let's understand.
But why then? No, why then? What are the preconditions? What are the preconditions before you call them? Why can't you? You are in a position. You are in a position. You have enough levers. Why don't you? Why don't you make it conditional that your participation in any process in Kashmir needs to start with a clear line that you cannot take a pro-Pakistan position. You cannot be talking, it's not democracy anymore. If you today, you are legitimizing Farooq Abdullah. You are legitimizing him.
Can I answer that? Can I
he is disrespecting the Indian position.
Complete this complete Gupkar gang said that we will not participate in elections.
Allowed to speak. So there's pretty much
can I complete, ma'am, you have all the right, you get all the right, and I'll appreciate you start with paying homage to all the martyrs. But let me go back to the point. Just complete Gupkar gang said that we'll boycott the election if
the biggest homage you would pay to our martyrs would be to put curbs on people like Farooq Abdullah. Why don't you do that?
That's what I'm saying. They said that we won't contest election. We won't contest election, and after that they contested election. But that was the biggest slap on their face. What else? But they said we will not contest election until C-70 and 35A is brought back. But they still contested election thereafter because they know that they
Why are you helping these groups spring back to relevance? Why are you helping the Gupkar gang spring back to relevance? Sushant wants to add a counter. Sushant wants to come in also. This is the most relevant question on the 22nd anniversary. Sushant.
No. Look, it's a relevant question, but let me just make 2 or 3 very quick points. Let me make 2 or 3 very quick points. Number one, the interview with Dr. Abdullah gave to a particular news outlet. Tell me something. How many people watched your program and how many people would have read that damn interview? Okay. I think the magnitude is 1:100 people who watch your program. You have given that interview far more traction by raising it out here than it would have got in that particular online magazine.
I disagree.
The article written by the brigadier in a particular online, I consider it trash. But nevertheless, that same online platform has also carried the interview of Pakistani NSA, right? But you tell me something. How many people, and that brigadier is a disgruntled man. That brigadier went out in there was a certain...
my point is not...
over him. Now he's writing a disgruntled article written by a news organization which is disgruntled.
Sushant.
Now I have no brief for
Sushant.
All that I'm saying is if they are taking money
I'll let Gaurav and GD Bakshi respond to you.
At them.
I'll let General Bakshi respond to you and maybe Gaurav also wants to come in.
There will be all kinds of stupid voices in this country.
See Sushant.
How many voices are you going to shut up, yaar?
See Sushant, I am the biggest, if I may, I can't hear, please. Can you increase the volume, please? I am the biggest advocate of opinion. But the point is, please, this is not opinion. This is not opinion. This is a caricature of the facts. I want General Bakshi to respond to you on this.
No, of course
I feel
it is. Of
that
course
we
it is.
owe it
But the way
to our forces.
I'm sorry. The way to shut
I'm sorry. No. 1 minute. 1 minute. See. It's about setting the example.
The way
No,
to shut
Sushant, allow me. Sushant, allow me now. Now, Sushant, allow me. I'm countering you now. I heard you, but I'm countering you, and I'm making my point. I'm handing it over to General Bakshi after that. Sushant, see, my point is, it has a domino effect. I can't ignore a terrorist. You can say that is a very small incident of violence. It is not a big terrorist act. My point to you is, if I ignore the quote-unquote small incident of violence, I am encouraging multiple terrorists to try and become more audacious with their actions. I need to nip it in the bud. And I also think there is a sentimental attachment to Kargil. And I think it is outright disgraceful. I don't care if the person is disgruntled or not. I think it is disgraceful. It bothers me that someone will read that trash and it will give legitimacy to opinion which will try and look upon the sacrifices of our 527 who died in Kargil as a footnote. Their sacrifice, General Bakshi, is not a footnote. By calling it a fiasco, you're making their supreme sacrifice a footnote. And that hurts.
Arnab, you have invited the liberals.
I come from that worldview, which I think, therefore I ask RP, I don't know why the government allows it. I'd like General Bakshi to come in and then maybe Gaurav.
Arnab, how many people...
Sushant,
sir, one point, with your permission, sir. With your permission, sir, just one sentence. Arnab, when 9/11 happened, there were so many conspiracy theories that the Jews have done it, that something or the other. There were at least 200 conspiracy theories. But lies has no feet. And that is my argument. So anybody who's making a nonsensical argument,
I'm not talking about conspiracy theories,
will have no
sir.
feet to stand on. Tell me something. 26/11, people like Digvijay Singh, people like your friend Mahesh Bhatt, a whole lot of other despicable characters like them had come up with this RSS behind 26/11 theory.
Must be yours.
Did they not
Get a chance to speak.
I know I'm taking a dig at
No, but I'm
listen,
talking about Kargil.
The point is that they came up with
I'm talking about Kargil is not any. See, I'm talking about Kargil.
The argument I'm trying to make is
I'm talking about Kargil. I'm talking about Kargil. Kargil is not anything and everything.
All over the place, everybody admits it. The Pakistanis also say it's a fiasco. It was what has lost them everything in Kashmir. After they did Kargil, it was a setback they have not got around. The valor of the Indian soldier is...
I'm sorry, but when someone says it's an Indian army fiasco, I'm not going to accept it. I mean, let's disagree on that. I'm sorry. Let me get General Bakshi to respond. General Bakshi first and Gaurav.
That it was a fiasco for them. The Pakistanis say it was a fiasco for them.
Fiasco for them?
Yes, sir, please.
No, fiasco for them. These frustrated souls in our country say it's a fiasco for us.
Arey Baba, but then you also had Digvijay Singh saying 26/11 is done by us. Who takes him seriously? The guy doesn't even win an election
General Bakshi will take you on now. Let General Bakshi respond to you, sir. Let General Bakshi respond to you. Let General Bakshi respond to you now.
Sushant, my limited point, Sushant, is today is the day that the families of 529 martyrs are grieving. They are remembering their son, they are remembering their brother, they are remembering their husband who was cruelly snatched from them. Is this the day that we need to rub salt into the wounds of soldiers who do you no harm? They just fight for you. I mean, they just fight for you, including, despicable specimens like this man. They fight for him too. They fight for him
Arnab, can I come for 2 minutes?
His right to abuse the nation. But this abuse, when it gets beyond a certain point, I think needs to be curbed. The simple point that I am trying to make is here, Sushant, there are certain serial offenders. It's not what has happened just today.
Can I come?
There are certain serial offenders who would like to invoke Pakistan every time Kashmir is talked of. who would like to invoke Pakistan every time Kashmir is talked of. You please go to Pakistan then, yeah? Why are you an infliction upon us?
Sarfaraz Wani and then Gaurav. Sarfaraz and Wani. Sarfaraz Wani and Gaurav.
Day in and day out.
Before going to the moot points, can I come to the rebuttals? There have been 2 points which have been spoken on this show. First, somebody said that Farooq Abdullah does not represent the people. For your kind information, Farooq Abdullah represents the highest hierarchy of electoral politics in Jammu and Kashmir. He is an MP from Srinagar constituency.
There are people who will.
So somebody saying that Farooq Abdullah does not represent
to make peace with Pakistan. You know, Sushant. Right now, Pakistan is trying to overthrow the legitimately elected government of Pakistan.
It's our army
Sarfaraz and Gaurav. Sarfaraz and Gaurav.
It's our army which had a ceasefire agreement.
Sarfaraz and Gaurav.
When our army has talked with the Pakistani army, when our army at DJMO level has talks with the Pakistan, so what's wrong if somebody talks about talking to Pakistan? What's wrong in that?
Serial offenders.
So,
when this man
it's not about
Gaurav.
Okay. Let me tell you, Sarfaraz Wani, let me answer your question.
Stop this.
Okay.
Stop this.
Okay, Sarfaraz Wani, my point is, you said, you know, why should you have a problem if somebody says talk to Pakistan? The thing is that we tried to talk to Pakistan. Hear me out, Sarfaraz Wani. You made your point. Now hear me out.
I have not been.
You hear me out. You're repeating yourself, sir. Sir, you're repeating yourself. Allow me to answer you, sir. Allow me to answer you. Okay, understood. Allow me to answer you, sir.
I have to rebut
Mr. Wani, you said that you know why. You said that why should people object to talking with Pakistan, etc. Number one, about Dr. Farooq Abdullah. Yes. You know, he is one of the usual suspects, and he's being saying this. The man is a crook. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Tomorrow you give him a place in the center, make him the head of a committee, he starts singing Ram Bhajan, he starts saying Jai Shri Ram. So I don't believe such people. All right?
No matter what.
If you remove him from power, listen, please allow me to answer you, sir. You asked the question, I'm answering you. You asked me a question, I'm answering you. Number one, I don't believe the man. I believe the man has no character because he does not stick to the straight and narrow. If you hate India, hate India. I will respect it. But you can't hate India when you're in the opposition and love India when you're given a seat of power at the center. This is exactly what Farooq Abdullah does. And secondly, you know, these are foreign relations. Farooq Abdullah has no business giving interviews to all and sundry outside the country in Pakistan. And of course, he's free. We can't put him in jail for giving interviews to a Pakistani news channel. But the fact of the matter is, whether we should talk to Pakistan or not is something that the government will decide. Not you or Farooq Abdullah.
Yeah.
There is an elected government, there is a parliament, and the parliament decides and the government decides. And the head of the government is the Prime Minister. Finally, Mr. Narendra Modi takes a decision whether we should talk to Pakistan or not. It's very simple.
It is the Narendra Modi government which went to Pakistan.
If the government of India decides no Pakistan, then there is no Pakistan. End of story. It's not even a matter of debate, sir.
See, you're not understanding me. My point is government is
I'll tell you. This whole thing about Nawaz Sharif and having biryani, na? Listen to me. Mr. Wani, listen to me. Mr. Wani, just give me 30 seconds and I'll answer you. You know, this whole thing about going to Pakistan for Nawaz Sharif's niece's wedding, this is a fraud, which you people say on television. At that time, what he was trying was to better relations with Pakistan.
I think
he called him on his inauguration to better relations with Pakistan. What Pakistan did was give you Pulwama. What Pakistan did was give you Pulwama. What Pakistan did was give you Uri.
I think the core issue, if I may add one thing at the end is, the core issue is about, the core issue, Sarfaraz, the core issue is, we can have different views on this. The core is, what are the responsibilities of the media in any country? And I have a counter question to ask Gaurav. Actually, I think the more relevant question is, viewers.
Yes.
I heard, I've not independently verified, but I have been told that the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party spent a lot of money in paid advertorials in some newspapers on the 100th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party. My personal view is, Gaurav, if anyone were to give you $1 billion to promote openly the interests of the Chinese Communist Party, it's not even a Chinese company,
the same Ladakh region.
You should be able to say no without blinking. Now, therefore, I don't want to be interrupted at this point, viewers. Thank you very much. So, Majid will keep quiet. Therefore, I think the question is, what are the responsibilities of people who are journalists, who are in the media, what are their responsibilities, what are the responsibilities of commentators, and I'm very clear on this. If you're anti-India while you're in India, you cannot be allowed to operate. I have no two views on this. I'm not as liberal as saying that we'll have to treat them with disdain or look the other way. I say, Gaurav, you and I belong to the worldview where we can't look the other way.
Absolutely.
I seriously condemn the acts of any newspaper group if it is true that they have taken money from the Chinese Communist Party to publish any advertorial. If that is the media that we have, I don't want to be part of that media. It's a disservice to the country. That's my view.